How was summary today? How'd it go?
Good, very good. Today was no sides, obviously you saw that. So just a lot of work, not a lot of throwing for them, but a lot of footwork and covering the bag. And started them on their first day of swinging the bat a little bit. Nice and easy to start with. So it was a good day for the pitchers, and then the catchers did a bunch of work on their own and fundamentals and did a little situational hitting game. So it was a fun day.
Chip, with this team, is it all about attitude and hustle? Because they were out there getting it today.
Well, I mean, it's about execution. Your attitude, you have the right, we can add execution on there at the end. But yeah, right now it is all about that. It's about going after, having a good attitude in the drills, doing the drills the right way. You don't have to do them, 2,000%, but at least give 85, 90% right now. Get the legs underneath you. So as long as they're, getting those skills back that they're going to need in crunch time when you have to make a play, and instead of thinking about it, your body just reacts. That's what we're trying to build right now.
I don't know if you've talked about this before, so pardon me if this is a topic you've gone through, but are you thinking of batting Grinke maybe 8th? Or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to hit all our pitchers 8th if we could, if we can show that they can handle the bat and do some different things with the bat. I think, with AJ hitting in the 1 or the 2 hole, Goldie in the 3 hole, gives us one more guy. Grinke really is a quality major league hitter. He's as good as most pitchers in the league, so I'm very comfortable hitting him 8th, and I told the other guys, show me that I can hit with you.
Who's the best candidate for that? Probably Ruby will have some work to do, right?
No, Ruby's swing looks good. We were just talking about it today. He's really worked hard on his swing, so you have to execute. In practice, it's beautiful, but you got to show us you can execute in the game.
Corbin's pretty good hitter too, right?
Corbin's a good athlete, good hitter, can handle the bat, and I think a year, after missing a year, he'll be a lot better.
So he's another guy that could hit 8.
Mm-hmm.
Miller, have you?
I mean, if we do it, we may do it. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
may just go, go for it and see how it works for a while, and if not, we'll go back the other way. But there's advantages both sides of it. I mean, analytically, there's some advantages to it. But again, it's nice to have a guy that can handle the bat.
You did it, what, a few times last year?
Yeah, we did it. We did it a few times. We were struggling a little bit. We would try it. When AJ is up in that number 1 hole or 2, if we can get find a guy to lead
So
off.
that's the biggest thing, is getting more bodies ahead of it.
Exactly, no doubt about it. Because he's not only a good on-base guy, he's a good run producer.
Chip, what's your general sense for the players you've talked to, the position players, about how they're approaching the season, how excited they are with the expectations?
Well, I think they're excited. I think anytime you come into camp, I've said this before, you're going to be excited. Obviously, with the additions that we've made, there's going to be some competition in the infield. We see that. Some competition in the outfield. And so I think they're just focused right now on getting a job, earning their job and showing that they're the guy that's supposed to be the starter. So that's the main focus. Now, the expectation stuff we'll take care of later.
Expect everybody to be here tomorrow?
Yes. We've heard of nobody having a problem getting here. I believe I've seen everybody on the roster now. I think I've shook hands with them.
Daniel Hudson, what role do you see for him?
He's pitching 7th, 8th inning, somewhere in there. I mean, there's no reason for him, and if we need him in the 9th, those 3 guys, Hudson, Ziegler, and Tyler Clifford, are interchangeable. Z will be the 9th inning guy to start, but if Z pitches the first 2 nights and gets saved, maybe we'll use somebody else in the 9th and the 3rd game. So that's the beauty of having those 3 guys.
Jim, speaking of competition, the rotation slots are filling up pretty quickly this spring. What about you, Bradley, have to do to?
Well, I think
earn a spot?
that 5th spot is the one that's open. I pretty much have told everybody that Ruby's going to be in there as a one of the 4. So Robbie, Archie, Godley, Wagner, these guys are going to have to come in and compete hard. And again, just because you're in there, and you have to keep your spot. Also, that's the thing we're trying to create. We're trying to create depth in competition. So we're going to need 8, 9 guys, starters, by the end of the year.
What have been your first impressions of Jake Barrett this spring, and what are you hoping to see out of him?
In the 2 years I've been here, it's the best I've seen him. He came early. He's been throwing the ball downhill really well. I know the pitching coaches are really excited. So I think we're all excited to see what he does in the games. And it'd be a big year for him. Again, in the bullpen, we're going to need depth. We're going to need arms. We can't, we don't want to burn anybody out. Injuries happen in baseball. We don't want them to, but they happen, and you have to have guys you can depend on than in the minor leagues, but he's gonna be fighting for a spot in the major league roster right now.
What looks different?
He's just throwing the ball downhill. There's a lot. He's peppering the bottom of the zone and going up when he wants to. But I know Mike and Garvin and Mike Fetters have all come to me at one time and said, "Hey, Jake Barrett looks really impressive right now."
Walking around station to station, you see a lot of guys laughing and enjoying themselves. Is that kind of what you want to see this time?
No doubt about it. You want to build that camaraderie. You want to enjoy the drills. You don't want them out there thinking, "Oh man, I got to do this again." They're having fun with each other. They're competing with each other, inside the drills. I know it's not easy sometimes covering first over and over for 15 minutes straight, but they're doing the best they can. And like I said today, I don't want them going 1,000% yet. They don't need to do that. Their legs are not ready for it. So they have an idea of how each of their bodies feels and can tell the way they're going about the drills.
Do you anticipate limiting Patrick Corbin at all, even though he came back from strong last?
I think we have to be careful. There's no doubt about it. You just can't say, "Oh yeah, he's gonna throw 210 innings." I hate to put a number on it. Any of them, we expect. That's why we traded for Shelby and Zach. We know what their history is. We know what Patrick's done before, but we also know he's coming. There's 1 year out of 2 years out of surgery, I guess, and 1 year from getting limited on his innings. So we have to be careful. We have to check with him, and if he needs a turn off, we can do it. But I don't anticipate having to do anything unless there's a problem. And as we go down the road, we'll look for different opportunities, maybe to get him out of games early if we're way ahead, stuff like that.
Saw you out there throwing some BP and heard some very audible grunting. Does that help a little fun?
I think it's just being 51 years old. That's what happens. You need to get it up there, and I'm still myself building into my season shape right now. So I haven't thrown but maybe 4 or 5 times. So I'm just trying to get it going.
What have you seen from Archie so far?
Excuse me?
What have you seen from Archie so far?
Archie's been spot on. There's if you want to just base this stuff on how guys are throwing bullpens, there's a great competition in that. But like I said, the hitters will tell us. The other day I watched him pretty intently, and he was hitting his spots. I always watched the catcher's glove, and it wasn't moving a whole lot. He was hitting the glove almost every time. So he's been impressive. Again, another guy who's been here a long time, and I think he's ready to face hitters, which starts tomorrow. And then the games. He needs to get going in these games and facing hitters and to take that next step.
What about Tyler Wagner? What have you learned about him in a little bit of time you've seen him here?
Right, he's a really good athlete, ex-shortstop from the University of Utah. So he has the athleticism that you like to see in a pitcher. He can make adjustments. He's already made a few adjustments with Mike. And what we heard advertised, obviously the ERA champion in the Southern League, keeps the ball down. I mean, the ball is always moving down. He's added a little bit of a cutter, which is impressive. So he's been a nice addition.
Chip, what are your thoughts on Segura and his potential to possibly lead off for the squad?
Yeah, he can. I mean, that's something he's done before. We're like I said, we're going to throw those guys out in the middle of the infield. They're all going to play second and short. CO, Ahmed, and Gene are all going to switch back and forth between second and short. So I don't know Ahmed as much at second, maybe a little bit of third for him. But we want to move some guys around. We want to give our guys opportunities to see other positions. He can do it. It just we see what our roster looks like at the end, and it would be nice. It would be nice to get one of those guys to be able to either lead off or hit second. It would make it easy on me.
Do you think the change of scenery might help him as well? I mean, last year he struggled offensively and defensively. Coming out here with the expectations, a new team might help him.
Right. I'd be careful of struggling. 250 with his numbers were not awful. I mean, those are pretty decent major league numbers for a shortstop. So. I hope it's anytime you go somewhere else, there should be a little bit of shot in the arm for you and get to compete again against different people, and I hope it is. He seems happy, and my thought has always been a happy player plays better.
You say you might get Nick sometime at third?
Well, maybe. We're thinking about, different in games, you got to have enough at bats for everybody. So maybe just give him a look over there, see what it looks like.
And if he ends up in a utility role, probably going to need to play there anyway.
Well, who knows? We'll see. I think when you got a guy of Nick Ahmed's defensive prowess, if you put him in the game, it's hard not to put him at shortstop, right? And maybe move somebody else. So he's a pretty darn good defender.
Sticking with Segura, watching him take some hacks, he's kind of got some sneaky power.
Oh yeah, he does. He's hit some home runs. I think he's like anybody else in the major leagues. If you leave a pitch in a certain spot, like I was leaving him, he can hit him out. He knows his game though. His game is right field, right center, line drives, ground balls, and he knows what he has to do. And it's funny when you're a little guy and you hit a home run, like that almost puts you into a little bit of a slump. You start to pull off the ball. So I thought that was interesting. That home run hit off me.
I came up with a new name for Peralta. I don't know if it's new, but I was writing my story the other day on David, and we know he's the freight train.
Right.
And I made a typo, and I forgot the E in freight. I made it freight train. So
Well, hopefully he's the freight train to the other team, right?
so you can use both of them.
All right.
All right.
Thank you, Mark. I'll always say it's you that.
No, wow.
Chip, how great is it having a guy like Tyler who's so versatile coming out of the bullpen?
It is, we've said it from the time we signed him. The depth is what we needed. Not the if he does this or if he does that. We know he's done it. And we know he's pitching 69, 70, 71 games a year for a while. And he's used to it. And he's not only on the mound, but in the bullpen. He's already told us the first night we met him that he's really excited about helping in the bullpen, helping mentor the younger guys. So those are huge things.
What have you seen from your catchers? Not only getting their work in, but getting the pitchers up to speed.
I think for me, they've been catching everybody right now. I haven't really walked in on how they're catching or even how they're hitting. You know, I know during pitcher-catcher camp, the hitting part sometimes are a little tired during it, so I don't look a whole lot at it. But I just like the idea they're all getting to see each pitcher. They've been very good in the meetings. It's something you guys don't get to see, but talking about the pitchers, talking about the pitcher stuff, the ability to throw certain pitches in certain places. They're very educated, and you love to see good aptitude out of your catchers.